literally every matchup so far.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that the teams are actually picking these maps that are relatively open, because we kind of talked about it earlier that these some of these maps have huge like the Deering Dockyards. It's just you can't fly anywhere without running into something. But these teams are opting for larger open maps, and I think that's because they want to rely more on their piloting abilities and less on trying to take advantage of map terrain, which is a little bit interesting.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see how this one goes, as we've got the players clashing in the midfield and some early openings, like both players managing to take out Raiders early on, or take out the Raider and Corvette. Early advantage for Splinter playing the Empire. And they will take the opening round. I believe they have only lost the opening round one time today.
Yeah, that was pretty gross stuff that we just watched there. Devastator not ready for that assault from Splinter Squadron. It doesn't look like they're going to change things up. They're going to keep this 2 Interceptor, 2 Fighter, 1 Support lineup here on this initial attack. I don't blame them. Didn't really lose too many resources. Didn't look like they had to fight too much there, as we did watch Swift just go down. My goodness, the focus fire has been key right now for Splinter.
Jareen making quick work of a few players here, but the Interceptors getting a little bit more than they can chew. Both Jareen and Scalp being put through their paces. Scalp being respawned and Jareen having to fall quickly back here. So this one, the morale pretty even, dead center of the bar, and neither team with much of an advantage. The Raider is currently on the frigates, but it's still just trying to work through those shields. And if we see Devastator flip this one back, it'll be one of the first times we've seen Splinter not get a frigate in map number 1.
Yep, there they go.
Phase number 1, yeah, there they go. They do it successfully. Well done.
So, I wanted to make this point before, and it never really got brought up, but I think one of the big differences that Splinter's going to have to try to overcome here, because, we watched Scalpwalker and Jareen kind of control battles all throughout in their previous matchups. Yeah, Brunus and Fencar, a lot of damage, but that was because the space was given to them by Scalp and Jareen. When you look at Devastator Squadron and you look at players like Swift and Dazu, I put them, if you had the two of them fight off against Scalp and Jareen, I think Devastator wins that fight. And that's going to be the biggest thing that Splinter Squadron is going to have to deal with. Scalp and Jareen have to stay alive, which puts a lot of pressure on Nop now to be that assisting support. And if Swift can pull a couple of maneuvers, I wouldn't be surprised if Splinter falls on the back foot.
We'll see. As already shields down on one of our light cruisers here for Splinter Squadron. Quick work from Devastator. And they finish off the Sea Assault Cruiser. More damage on it. The Corvette also opened up with the shields down. It'll be able to put its work on it. Now appearing as the B cruiser, as we see this from the Empire side. And the Corvette not getting a lot of attention here. Looks like maybe they're starting to come in behind it to try and take it out, but about half health on the cruiser. Corvette still standing.
Just one of these times I want to see the AI Corvette pilot just kamikaze it into one of these ships. So we're going to die here anyway.
We saw it earlier, actually, the pilot make a mistake or something and bump into, he kind of like clipped on one of the cruisers and kind of like fell over the top of it and then righted himself on the other side. But Swift getting a little bit of uncontested action before the turrets were able to find him as he slowed down. And we will see them flip sides, though. Neither cruiser all the way down. We'll get to see Splinter now try their hand at offense again. And we'll have a neutral round 1. Splinter definitely finding their hands full with Devastator.
Yeah, this is a really good matchup. Obviously, nobody able to get any frigates. The shields are down here for Splinter, and it looks like now they're feeling a little bit of that pressure, and here comes a couple of those defenders. Brutus and Fenkar both in those. Not a surprise seeing how they were able to use them last time, but Nop under a lot of pressure goes down. And again, Swift is going to sniff out those kills. Nop's going to have a big game here as Brutus and Fenkar are getting to work here on these assault frigates, but I think the collapse is inbound now as that support is gone and these defenders are going to have to be pushed away.
Now the defenders will be falling back. The Raiders still alive. And the A frigate nearly down. We'll finally see Splinter get to work and make some progress. But they actually have to fall all the way back as they get wiped for a moment. And then the Raider taken down. A super weak here. As they push him for the second phase again, it's nearly on the side of Devastator. Morale bar swinging far. Oh, they get some important frags.
Oh.
Give themselves a little bit of space, and the A will go down. Now, not a fruitless second phase here for Splinter as they get the first one, and now turn their attention on to B as the health bar starts to drop. They might get both frigates here in the second phase.
That would be important, but it doesn't quite work. I think we're going to see Fenkar stick around and maybe try to find some more damage. He is still here, but a scalp falls. Stop going to follow. Wow, a very close game, and now it's Devastator who's got some pretty good cruiser damage. I don't know. I don't know how to call this one right now, Wave. I want to see how this next assault plays out here for Devastator squad. I know Rando has really liked that fighter. He's been one of the players to track today as far as capital ship damage goes. So let's keep a close eye on him, see what Splinter Squadron can do to keep him off these cruisers.
Splinter Squadron getting hit pretty hard for a moment, and honestly, what we're seeing from the Devastator side of things,
wow,
they're pushing across together as they do get one light cruiser down, and the Corvette is on to the other cruiser. They split up pretty heavily as they pushed in, and usually, I would think that you want to make a concerted push all together. It's the strat we've seen work time and time again today, but they do manage to split time on the differing health levels, send a few players over to finish off one cruiser, and then leave the Corvette and the other players to work on the more healthy cruiser. So they've gotten it through one. Health bar, though, or morale bar, starting to swing back in favor of the Empire as frags come through and the bombers doing work on the AI farming. They can take out this Corvette or relieve a lot of pressure. They might be able to keep one of their cruisers for their next stage of offense. Just keeping that forward resupply station so important for extended pressure.
Yeah, that cruiser still needs to go down. It's still up, I believe.
It is.
So if they can take that down, that's the attack done here.
And that's it.
The big problem. Oh, actually, some damage being done to.
There it goes.
It does eventually fall. I think that cruiser will die. It should. It's on 1 HP.
It does. It does. It will fall.
But,
it said, oh, did it not? It did, and then it didn't. It was weird that the health part disappeared for a second. I think it was saying fall back to defend. Lol.
Well, it looked the big problem with that push for me from Devastator was they got staggered a little bit. I think it was Dazu who went down first, and then Swifty kind of got caught out a little bit. Jester tried to help him out, and he got staggered a couple of seconds afterwards. And you know, they got some good damage. Obviously, they took down one of those cruisers, but they could have gotten a lot more if you know they didn't unfortunately spawn and have you know 4v5s or 3v5s across the map there.
Oh, and Splinter does take down the second frigate, leaving them the MC-75, a decently healthy Raider in tow, but a few of the players dropping here. Scalp, the key one there, as well as Nop, the support and the lead. Oh my goodness, the word is escaping me right now. Interceptor, thank you. Going to be down for that push. So they're actually going to abandon this Raider, which will drop before it makes its way to the MC-75. So we'll see if they can push together without the support of the Raider. But this is the key for me. Can they take down shield generators on this first push? They've done it every single time they've had an opportunity at an MC-75 or at the enemy's capital ship. They've got at least one shield generator on this first push, and here they go in onto the left side, trying to get as much damage as they possibly can in at once. And they do some significant damage, half damage to the left shield generator there, but not able to finish it off. They swap sides, and here comes the Corvette.
Yep, and then there it goes. And that MC-75, there's definitely talk about, the differences between the Star Destroyer and the MC-75. Some players feel that it's easier to take down the shield generators from that Republic MC-75. And, be it as it may, it was a good defense there from Devastator Squadron. And I'm looking at the scoreboard. Rando from this Devastator team, who we called out as the player that is going to be doing capital ship damage in that fighter wave, he's almost nearly at 50k, and they haven't even started assaulting this Star Destroyer.
That means he's been doing all the work by himself. Him and the Corvette have been alone on those two front frigates. But right now, they're doing a decent job pushing on to the nice positioning here on the left-hand flank as the Corvette comes in. But we're not seeing the same sort of concerted, all three of us pushing on to one of the shield generators at the same time. But my goodness, one of the players being left alone here as he just goes up on this. He's only getting shot at by the rest of the by the capital ship itself. Jester getting onto these shield generators just by himself, bringing a lot of damage. Both the shield generators at half health right now, and still finally a player finds him. I think it might be Scalp who's going to try and hunt him and chase him off of these shield generators. He does get the kill.
Wow.
But here comes their backup. Dazu now onto the shield generators again, uncontested. They'll get the kills. They'll have to fall back. Neither team able to get shield generators down here in phase 3.
No shield generator kills, but just looking at the attack map, I guess you could technically call Devastator in the lead. They've done a little bit more damage to both shield generators, but with them being on defense, of course, Splinter Squadron now has this Raider, as we're watching the Raider cam.
Yeah.
This is a very close game. I think that, again, knock on wood, caster's curse, whatever, but this has been the closest matchup we've seen so far, and I've really got to hand it to both Raveneye and Nop for, I'm looking at the scoreboard. They obviously have been focused down pretty hard, but Raveneye has only died 3 times, Nop 4. They've been keeping themselves alive and in turn keeping these attacks going.
The first shield generator goes down on the MC-75. Splinter will get the first half done, but the second one, uncontested, finally, damage being done here as we see Fenkar fly in and do what he does best, but getting harassed from the outside as well. He's got to back off. He can't immediately just sit there and pound that shield generator, and the shields will stay partially up for the time being. The Raider on that side won't be able to maximize its damage because of those shields, but the shields will pop now. Can they finish off this shield generator before having to back off on this run? More kills coming through for Team Devastator. It's going to push that morale bar back, and as they take down the Raider as well, it's looking like they might have to settle for just one shield generator on this push.
That right shield generator just below half, but the shots coming in. Scalp gonna go down. Fenkar's on the respawn.
Nice.
There goes the second one. Jareen gonna finish it off. But if that's all they get out of it, Maeve, I don't know if that's enough of an attack, because now Devastator going to swap sides. They've got an opportunity now. However, it's a pretty much full stack here, as they weren't able to get shield generators either. I don't know. I think Devastator, they're in a position to win this game. They, unfortunately, I think they kind of slipped up a little bit earlier on, but they've kept themselves in it, and they didn't let Splinter Squadron start to roll, especially when, as I said, that some of their offensives didn't quite look promising, and Splinter had been punishing those all day today. So far, the defenses from Devastator has been good, but this attack has to be better.
Yeah, they're going to try and take out these shield generators, and they kind of, oh no, banging off the wall. They'll get that eliminated for free, and already Splinter heavily pushing this bar back the other way. Right now, just taking out the Corvette would win it for them and send everybody back on the defense. And they've kept one shield generator down, the other one looking low, but the exposed power system on the other end, both shield generators do fall, but this is looking bad. It was really an uphill battle for Devastator on that drive. They had to take out both shield generators and power system. They basically needed to win the game on that drive because now an exposed MC-75 with a 70% power system that's going to open this thing up, and here comes the Raider to do as much damage as it possibly can. Fights in the midfield here are going to be so important. Can Devastator keep Splinter out of their back line?
And Nop gets away with his life there. We saw Jester was looking for the pickoff, or even I can't say the same. This is going to be the power system targeted down now. If that falls, and it will, this is going to be super difficult for Devastator Squadron to try to hold on. We've got Brutus here, Wave, and I think this might just do it. These defenders are going to be so hard to kill as nothing remains on this MC-75.
No. It's gone. They need it. So this is how effective Splinter Squadron is. They move in with purpose. This is the efficiency that Silent Echo was talking about. The way that they know exactly where they're going. They're not okay, cool, we won this side. What should we do now? They already know where they're going. 60,000 damage. That's like the highest we've seen in a single game. 60,000 damage from Rando wasn't enough to win it here for Devastator Squadron as Scalp and the boys walk away with it.